My Lord, I need you, Lord, I need you, Lord. Yani. Good morning to everyone. This is the power of healing with Tabi. Is it morning? Good afternoon to everybody. This is the power of healing with Utabi Ngoweketelo. Yeah, I chose the wrong time to do a video after my praise and worship. So nje, all the energies are awake. Nizomxolela. I really chose isikhathi wrong, but nevertheless, sometimes we need to show you ukuthi udila kanjani nesithunywa or usiphakamisa kanjani isithunywa, because kuyadingeka ngesinye isikhathi ukuthi usiphakamise isithunywa sakho. So esingisho nje ngithuze the wrong time while I was spiritually somewhere. Yeah. So this is the power of healing with uThabo Ngowekhethelo. Umbulazi omnyama lo bengula kamzilikazi umazilikazi kaMashobana. uShobana nogasa kaZigode. uZigode kamkhatsha ukhatshwe ngezindi inyawo nezimfushazana. Umkhatsha wawuzimangela unyama yentini yawuzimangela. Mabasobayo basentabeni kwadliwa ilanga lishona umbilini owabonwa ilanga. Yimi ke loyo. Bantu ngabancwaba. Bantu ngamahle. Bantwana benkosi. Ondaba ezitha. Nina bakantokela. Ngifuna ngichubeke. Siyeke lapho yabona oze kuvuka izinto esingafanelanga ayivuke. Ngumuntu nguponda bokosi umlanga tshaka. Yimi ke loyo. Yani kuvuke izinto. Anyways, guys, I just want to say this before I start. You can never say unomoya wenzuza. You can never say unonkosazana. You can never say uphethwe abantu bamanzi or uneyithunywa zamanzi noba uphethwe yindlondlo zamanzi, and yet awukhuleki kuleya ndawo kudinga umkhuleko bantwana basekhaya singadlali iningani. You can never say awukwazi ukukhuleka ukuthi umntwana amanzi wena emanzini kudingeka umuntu okhulekayo. Singanikhohlisa njengoba singabantu basemhlabeni, kodwa kunamandla esiwatholayo from emkhulekweni. Afternoon sithando sami Thami. Afternoon love. Emanzini kunamandla atholakala khona, kodwa kudinga umuntu akhuleke. If you're going to say mina nginenzuza or mina nginomoya wenzuza, guys, there's a history that comes behind abantwana benzuza. There's a history esingayixoxi about inzuza. Nama ngifisa ukuyixoxa, kodwa ngiyafisa ukuthi ngesinye isikhathi nazi ukuthi akusukeleki nje kuthiwe wena ukhethwe inzuza. Isukeleke nje kuwe, ine history lapha evela khona, inezimpawu emndenini wonke, hayi kuwe kuphela. You are chosen as a child of it because of izathu ezithize, kodwa emndenini isuke ikhona kuwo wonke mhlambe kulomndeni okhethiwe, because sifuna ukuthi yime ngize nayo ngoba naku kuthiwe wena umntana enzuza ikuwe kuphela ekhaya. Cha, akukho njalo. However, singumndeni owodwa siphiwe differently yiyo futhi. So kudinga ukuthi understand your position nayo wena. Kodwa ke into engizama ukuyisho ukuthi uma uthi wena unalowo moya noma umntana wayo or umntana semanzini, umuntu omkhuleko wena, they can tell you otherwise, kodwa umuntu omkhuleka. Inzuza it's a holy spirit. Inzuza it's a pure spirit. Ayixushwa nento eningi. guys, ayiqhutshwa nento eyiningi, singayixoxa nje izinto sinikhohlise ngoba siyanikhohlisa nikhohlweke nikhohliseke nani, kodwa nje at some point we need to tell you the truth. Okay, it's not the topic of today. Topic yanamhlanje ime kanje. We're going to talk about the impact of a spirit of a late child kubabayo, or in the dead side, right? Because it's often believed that the spirit of a late child sihlala kumama kuphela, or it is only the mother that bears the consequences of uh, the spirit of a late child, which is not true. The father also gets affected. A lot of men, I've had several clients where every time you do a consultation, uqhamuke lo mntwana ayedwa nje futhi and say, I am the one causing all of this havoc. I am the one that's causing delay. Now, let's start with termination and which is termination, which is abortion and miscarriage, right? You get that sometimes you don't know that your ex-girlfriend terminated, or one of your ex-girlfriends terminated, and then, or one of your ex-girlfriends. I'm talking about people who are not married here, or your one of your ex-girlfriends miscarried. Later on in life, you get married, and you find that this child is now messing up a lot of things. It's causing havoc through your marriage, through your relationships. No matter how much you try to get things, or to be formal in relationships, or no matter how much you try to step forward and commit, it seems it does not happen. Every time you reach a point where you want to commit, something happens. This is because this child is saying, I'm here. Guys, we must understand. A child has two bloodlines running through their veins. Umntwana akayenzwa umuntu wesifazane kuphela. That is why angithi we use two surnames. That is why we've got the paternal and the maternal side. Even with animals, there's a maternal and a paternal, even with animals. So everything that has to do with a human being has a paternal and a maternal, whether you like it or not. So that child, even if it was your ex-girlfriend, bloodlines stays the same. You cannot break bloodlines. You cannot choose differently. You don't have a choice. So as a child that is coming to this earth, olethwe futhi abantu abadala, because sometimes you get that umuntu doesn't even know that they are carrying a gift and goes and terminates that. It is unfair that we take those decisions as women, not understanding which it affects the other party as well. We make decisions based on akangishadanga, or we had a rough breakup, or what, not understanding good whatever that I decide on now really affects him as well. So it is very selfish and funugusho, but some of the women have reasons. So it does affect umntana abantu, guys, a lot. Uthole ukuthi izinto ziyabheda. Impilo nje khona abantu impilo imile. Hayi ngoba bebazi. It's guys, you must understand, this thing, it does not care whether you know or you don't know. Fact is, ubabam, you should have protected me from this thing coming. And this spirit, it's not that they are being selfish. It's a matter of trying to find closure as well, because I also want to know ukuthi ngiyakumaphi amathonga. So now you get that, okay, so mina my spirit can't rest because umama ugeziwe, but it was not complete, because according to amathonga asekhaya, or idlozi lasekhaya, mina angiwona wakaboma but ngowakabobaba. So now I have to affect law, because la bekufanele isn't it kaboma bathi thina sikwazi thina. And then I try to go to, now I need to find my father's side. nabo abathi asikwazi thina. So I need to affect both their lives. Utholeke ukuthi intombazane igeziwe kodwa ubaba akagezwanga, right? And now ubaba tries to move on and get married. Do you understand? Um, and then it affects everybody. It affects sometimes it affects even the wife in the marriage. You told good because now law was carrying a spirit of a late child. Nashata. As soon as nishata nje, everything seems weird. Everything seems like it's not working out. As we always say to abantu besifazane, it applies the same with abantu besilisa. I've explained to the spirit of Amanono. If you go and watch in the by spirit of Amanono, it has never been said that a spirit of Amanono affects only men, affects only women. I'm sorry, but it affects no Baba as well. You know, I meet different people, guys, ne? And uh, some terminations. You must understand. Tolguti, this child was meant uh to carry a surname Yagulekai. Doesn't matter ukuthi yomuzi othize, it doesn't matter ukuthi beyiphuma kobani, but uthole ukuthi it was meant for greater things. Some kids will come back saying, I had a gift, I needed this gift, was maybe for healing. This gift was going to help a lot of people. So all of a sudden, the gift, actually, you didn't only terminate the pregnancy, but you terminated the gift. So then it comes back. Futhi-ke, it's even worse. I've often said this. Akekho umuntu onzima or asikho spirit esinzima njenge-spirit of a child, guys. It is even worse if the child had a gift. So it affects men as well. Abanye abantu, they have erection problems, not horse. There's something medically wrong, but because of this child. Omunye umuntu uthola ukuthi i-affects in such a way that they don't have any other kids anymore. And it becomes an erection problem. Nje. And sometimes where you find yourself trying to make love to a woman and all of a sudden ucikeke nje. Isn't it? It's cutting off your livelihood. So it does that to a lot of men. It irritates her in such a way that like you get irritated so quickly. So sometimes you get in a relationship, you fine, everything is working out, everything is fine, and then all of a sudden, without even you being like knowing what's going on or being consciously aware, umosha wena futhi, you understand. There's a lot that happens when guys a pregnancy is terminated, and it's not only that it affects um it affects umama kuphela. Guys, we sometimes, let me say this, and I'm going to be honest. Sometimes you terminate a pregnancy, go back at night, you terminate in the morning, go back at night and sleep with this very same person that will terminate pregnancy. Uhambe uyolala. Niyabona ukuthi you are actually spreading this thing. That is why we say, guys, I think it's important to understand yourself when involving women in your life. Understand the women that you're involving and understand yourself. Sometimes you get that you're involving a woman, you involved with or you become intimate with a woman, obege what mhlawumbe uhlangana naye this week and then things got heated and then niyahamba nolala. Lo muntu last week was terminating for somebody else. And then wena uzothatha zonke lezi zinto. It is very important. That's why but it take time to know her. That phrase came from somewhere. Take time to know the woman that you're sleeping with. Not all that glitters is gold. You must understand that not all that glitters is gold. So you go, you sleep with the same woman who terminated last week, right? I fall pregnant again. Kule gazi elimnyama leli angakaligezi, I fall pregnant again. Terminates yours again. Moving on to other people. Okay, let's say now they terminate yours. They don't tell you I need terminates yours. come back in the evening, you still sleep together. Basically, that's that whole lot of is dinner and everything that's happening, exchanging all the time without you being aware that you're exchanging this energy all the time. Uma ngale why izinto zakho zima, all of a sudden you had a new a car ivele nje ichayisa imoto eyakhe imoto kuzo zonke isukeleke nje imele yosukelwa umuntu ayishayise. Guys, you need to understand the partner that you are with. It is nice to be a isoga. It's very nice. I hear I don't have that experience. I'm not a man. But it's nice to be isoga, but lobo busoga bakho. Uh have you ever thought ukuthi ku affectani empilweni yakho? Ubusoga, it's very nice, but what is the after effects of lobo being a woman's man or being isoga? You understand? So we need to be careful, right? Now, even with your partner, even with miscarriage, women miscarry, and sometimes they didn't know they were pregnant. Sometimes, if a woman does not believe, or a kaya they don't believe in traditional things like a gaze, nawe. I had a very interesting conversation, guys, with some people. They're not my friends per se, but it was the umamong trustayo that shares a lot with me, and umamong dala. So I'm thankful that she trusts me in asking certain things because she's not African, but she's not African yet. She knows that these things do affect other things. So she asked me, and she said, my son's girlfriend got a miscarriage, or got a stillborn, I think. And a week after they did the burial, everything. A week after she was here visiting, a week. So the girlfriend, she's asking me because the girlfriend Umzulu. So she's asking, Guti, is that right? And I said, the mother of that girlfriend, with us Amazulu, we know umthetho bantu yesintu. Asingaphoxani, we know umthetho yesintu. A month or 3 months would have been enough to stay away and cleanse yourself, and you know, not good you lost the child in a week's time when I saw Gabomfana or so Gabondota. We're talking about people who are outside wedlock, right? When I saw Gabondota and being in bed with this person. So I asked her, what did you say when she came in? I said, and she said to me, no, I asked, did your mom know that you're here? And she said, yeah, my mom said I can come, but I cannot sleep. And I said, that's not true. If the mother truly knows, and you're saying Amazulu, like you're saying, then that's not true. And she said, I said to her, you must go. You can't stay here. And I said, you did the right thing. Uzoletha lethunzi leli emzini wakho futhi as well. Learn to respect yourself enough to grieve, man. So that's for miscarriage. So you get that sometimes he was lucky that he knew about the miscarriage, obviously, because they were in the third trimester. But now let's say this happens within the first or second trimester, and the woman decides not to tell you. You come back, nila vida, things continue as they are. We speak about reincarnations, we speak about spiritual twins, we speak about a lot of things, guys. The time this woman decides, now I want to have a child, azange agezwe busy solo nje two sharing this thing, miscarriage all over again until something happens, and then the woman gets pregnant. So lo mntwana uzozala uzalelwe phezu kwalawo manyala that has been going on engahlenzwanga, and nobody, I mean, she never told anybody. So that's the problem that we have with the generation of today, being ignorant to things, and thinking we know better, thinking we are clever, guys. That is why we have things now when we see ourselves having bad luck and all of this. Some people have miscarriage or terminated pregnancy later on in life, and then they're gifted with marriage, because marriage is a gift. They're gifted with marriage. I'm not talking about a wedding, I'm talking about a marriage. There's a difference between the two. There's a wedding, then there's a marriage. Uh, so you get married, and they give you abantu abadala can show you flames. They give you the best partner ever, and then the past comes back to haunt you. You don't get a child, you don't fall pregnant. Then it was a very wise decision to make because you were looking at circumstances. People tell me it was circumstances. People sometimes people do it just for fun. It doesn't matter. I had this very heartbreaking story where a woman said, "This that is how I um what do they call it, Conch? Uh, she uses abortion as a contraceptive. So that is how yeah, I think she said something like that. She uses it as contraceptive. So when somebody says something like that, I begin to wonder how many are they? Do you understand? When you are using it as family planning, yeah. When you use it as family planning not to fall pregnant, when you use abortion, me for me abortion is already pregnancy. But when you use it now as prevention of pregnancy. I really, I thought, and I said to myself, I don't think this child knows what she's talking about, or I don't think it has been explained to her properly. But anyway, think people choose how to live their lives. We don't, uh, 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 we cannot judge them. So, hence, I'm saying this thing. You meet this girl, muhle. She's very beautiful, I must say. You meet her, umbona girl, yeah, mama sekhaya. You marry this girl, not knowing ukuthi she her own prevention of her, in her own mind, prevention was terminating. So you don't know if whether she's terminated 12 or 13, or and you marry her. And then abantu abadala bathi, okay, fine, marriage, I mean, yeah, it's fine. And um then there's no child. Because angithi wena ujabuliswa ukuthi ngimthola ngenamntwana, angithi kodwa umthola ngenamntwana kuhle. Because a lot of times, guys, it's very funny that people meet people without they meet women without kids, and they in their mind, okay, let's say there are people where you find that they haven't had a child and they're in their 30s, right? That can happen. I'm not going to say, but it's usually a very low percentage. And then you find a woman in their 30s saying, I don't have a child, and you are excited, you are happy. When, and I don't know who's fooling who, but uh el- you just marry, you uzigcinile, angazi kanjani. I mean, there are women abazigcinile according to them, because there's a difference between being a virgin and uh avoiding penetration. Those are two different things. You do other things, but you avoid penetration. That's not being a virgin. But I need to for kuleyo today. Asizongena ku-culture kakhulu. So yeah, so you find this woman akanamntwana, and you're happy. I mean, yaw, sizoqala impilo yethu. Only to find, as this I was saying, upreventa ngalento, upreventa yena ngokuthi terminate. So we really need to be careful these days, guys. Asinayo imimoya noma izinto esiphuphayo that are attacking us because nje there's a link. Do you understand? Sometimes there's a link. Sometimes you forever you dreaming about umgodi, like a hole with blood. You dream about blood stains in your clothes. You don't even know where this blood stain is coming from, but you have blood stain. You get into when nje, anywhere you basically go to, you can go to a bathroom and you'll find some blood nyana, some blood stain nyana. There's blood flow following you. There's blood in your dreams. And you really don't understand that message, guys. You cannot tell me that you are not worried. Um, you are a man, and you are forever, sorry, having this child following you in your dreams. When you dream, there's this child, there's this child, there's this child. Sometimes there's pregnancy. Like whenever you dream, I'm a dream as serious, kunaleyo nto le, and you never ask yourself why. Hmm? Hmm? Sometimes you get that some spirits are nice, I must say. Some spirits are nice. You get that you get this connection with children. You don't have your own child, ne? Because and sometimes people, I ask a lot of times when ngihlola umuntu and there's a link of children, or I see children, and I said, "Do you have a child?" And this person would say, "I don't have a child." And then and as and me now I'm seeing this child, and a person would say, "No, I don't have a child." I get worried, Gucci. You don't have a child, but there is kids. So sometimes the spirit is nice, that it's not really causing a lot of havoc, but you forever find yourself being wherever you go, and you're just being hugged by this baby. Like, you'd find yourself, you sitting in a taxi minding your own business. You don't have a child, but this child seems, every child you meet, they smile at you. The spirit is basically being nice. You need to know your girlfriends. You need to know something. So mean, I sent you back and I said, go and do ilendo introspection, or go and research from your exes if there was no link, because some people babanjwe, things are not working out. This person has a qualification, this person is learned, this person, hey, but there is no job, there is no employment. Or you go to interviews, you've been to numerous interviews, and there's no job for you, but you are sometimes you're even overqualified for the position that you are applying for. But akwenzeki ukuthi baqashe, even though you have everything that they need, the skills, everything, they don't. Have you never asked yourself why? So we cannot say it does not really impact abantu besilisa, guys. It's just that they think, bona, because I didn't marry this girl, it has nothing to do with me. It has a lot to do with you. It has your blood in you, so it has a lot to do with you. And then now I want to talk about this a situation where there is uh, the child is born, ne? But awumnakile lo mntwana, and then you find this yourself, you are married, and only not realizing that lo mntwana lo owamthola maybe in your early years, ongamnakile, uyophethe ikhaya lakho, uyophethe ikhaya lakho. When his life is miserable, his as he grows up, yours becomes even more. As he experiences things, your kids now in wedlock experience even more. uh so basically his suffering is attached to this family as well. So whenever he's experiencing, angithi owakho lo muntu umntanakho phela, and sometimes uthola ukuthi you did not acknowledge the child, but your ancestors acknowledged the child and they know about this child. uh and sometimes you get that the child was been given as a gift. I always talk about kids being given as a gift. You would find sometimes, guys, good guys are very ignorant. So you get married, this woman who is your wife now keeps on telling you, yes, I'm dreaming of this boy, I'm dreaming. And then you all of a sudden tell them that, okay, nginomntwana ngaphandle, all right. I often say to abantu, okay, my clients, guys, I often say to them, especially women, if umuntu wakho eze nomntwana ngaphandle, be careful that you were not given this child as a gift. So how you react to those news, to that new, to those what you are being told, those news, and how you treat this child, believe me, because amadlozi abonile ukuthi ubaba kanandaba, he's ignorant of certain things, bamupha wena. Angithi wena, you are the wife here. Remember that our role is to build la kule khaya. So bayambona ukuthi, okay, lo abakalaleli lutho ukuzokutshela ngokuthi angizenzi lezi zinto, spiritual things, I don't believe in traditional things or ancestors. So bamthathe lo mntwana bamnike wena, mabamphuphisa wena bazama ukunibonisa ukuthi lo muntu lo has a huge impact in our lives. um what is late child? A late, so when I say late child, I'm just going to answer that one. What is a late child? A child that's passed on, whether being terminated, basically that was a child, whether it was just at that moment it was a child, it was life growing. So that's a late child. So whether it was termination, whether it has abortion, basically leyo bekunomphefumulo, because for that lelo hlwili lelo to grow fanele liphefumule, sikhuluma ngomphefumulo la. So that's a late child. So I was with this one where the child now lives, but out of wedlock. So you get that now this your wife is being bothered by this thing in her dreams. Uyahamba going to consultations. Utshelwa ngumntwana. Lo mntwana mind you akuso wakhe. But that's because lo mntwana une impact kule impilo zenu. It's just one of you or the person who's supposed to be responsible for this thing is ignorant. So banikeza wena as a responsibility to fix. Sometimes, guys, when you get into marriage, you get that, especially if you're a spiritual person, right? You must be aware that as you get into this home, once baqala bakwenzela izinto, that is why I spoke about ukuthi kwanawe laba abaphethe fanele bathengwe, because mawungena kule khaya bakuthandile kule khaya, kwalaba uthwala uthwale laba basemzini, ubathwale laba basemzini, and once uthwala laba basemzini, they why bakupha now ubathwala, or they become part of your spirits, is because you are capable of fixing. Is because they know the kind of that lo umntanethu awesome. Remember that, guys, angithi masishada sithi siyoba umntwana lelo khaya, so umntanethu omusha lo uyalalela, uyazazi lezi zinto, so we give her that platform to fix things. All right. And then now when they give you that permission, when bangibatha abantu basemzini, guys, you must understand ukuthi bangibathela ukuthi ulungise ezinye izinto bezingahambi kahle la ekhaya, abasho ukuthi you have power of authority. However, they are giving you permission to say unawo amandla wokuzenza izinto ezi-right kule khaya, unawo amandla wokuhamba uyobonisa mhlambe your spouse, or ukuthi listen. It's even great when your spouse really follows spiritual things. You know, I meet a lot of couples, abashadile, guys, it's amazing, and who are spiritually who have a spiritual connection. So spiritually they are both inclined kahle, so they connect beautifully in such a way that they do things together. That makes things even easier, because I cannot be able to describe abantu bakini bakwazi uku-accessa my dreams, my spiritual space, bese ungitshela ukuthi bona why fanele beze kuwe. That's another question that abantu, you'll find people saying, why abantu bakithi babona uwe. There's this light that they saw in me, ukuthi baze kimi, they know ukuthi lo muntu uphiwe kangakanani and will be able to help, and will be able to ukusiza lo wethu who's not really understanding the messages we're trying to give him, no matter how much we try. Because it's not like ancestors will just all of a sudden decide ukuthi okay, we decide to distance ourselves from them. They try so many ways, so many times to get to get messages through to you, but if you don't listen, and then they try now to involve the wife. If you don't listen to your wife, it's another story. Then they decide, and then izinto zenu zihambe slow, izinto zenu ziphambane zenze. You cannot be blaming your wife. Uzamile naye umntana abantu. So that is what, guys, children are capable of doing. So you get that this child uphiwe impilo yakho, angazi noma ngiyangithola, uphiwe impilo yakho. They are in control of your life. Remember that what ancestors always try to do is to justify. The universe sometimes will try to justify impilo yalo mntwana, the lento, ukukhula kwakhe. If ukukhula kwakhe beku-miserable because when you denied your child, ukukhula kwakhe, ancestors will try, as they try to justify, they mess up yours. To fix his, they must mess up yours. Guys, there's a lot of things that happen in spirituality that we need to be aware of, especially men. It's not because we are women that we're involved in these things. It's not that it's only affecting us. It's just that you guys become very slow in understanding what's going on. So Tina, as they always say that women mature fast in certain areas of life. Tina, we mature fast in that, but nina is slow in such a way that even sometimes noma umuntu alibona iqiniso tries to deny it. A lot of you are affected by spirits of a late child. Leyo ngizonitshela nje, that you never knew about. Either the child was miscarried and the child was aborted. You know, it was very funny, guys. That whenever I see this and I mention it, I remember there was somebody I was helping in Cape Town. And then I said, I think I think your girlfriend needs to tell you something. And he's like, what, Makosi? Because I've been seeing something, and um she does not want to learn to accept it. And I said, awumbuze this time, if angafuni ukuphendula wena, set an appointment, ngikhulume naye. uh and then the only thing I said to this child was, why ungamtsheli umuntu wakho ukuthi you lost a child? And she started crying. Said, I don't know how to handle it. I said, do you want me to handle it? Because it's unfair. Lo muntu ozatshayiswa imoto for no apparent reason, just because when you're afraid of telling them what you've done. Kubuhlungu kona, but however, nathi sibuyesabe because of how you guys handle things. But then it is very selfish to make decisions for somebody else. So yeah, that's all I wanted to say, guys, and hope to see you Guma Q&As with on Thursday, where we talk about initiation. This week I believe we're going to talk about the experiences in initiation or self-initiation, what we've the hardship that we've experienced in that journey, or the hardship that we are experiencing in that journey. Hope you write your questions and then you'll ask me on Thursday. Thank you so much.